Are you squirreling away your hard-earned wages waiting for next gen November so you can splash some cash on one of the latest and greatest systems? Well, if you are, this could well be an open tag question that you're interested in answering. Now, I've been wanting to ask this question for quite some time now, but of course I've been away from YouTube for nearly 5 months, and I've missed a lot of the excitement surrounding the announcements and the E3 and a lot of the other expos and all of the information we've been given about next generation PlayStation and Xbox. I haven't really been able to respond to it and chat with you guys about it. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to throw this question out to, well, not just to my subscribers, but hopefully to any of their subscribers that they get interested in this. And really, I want to know what it is you're going to be doing with the pennies that you've scraped together to buy a next-gen system. Because I'm sure many of you are like me and you've been putting a little bit away out of your wages each month so that you'll have enough money come November or early December or whenever it is we're going to be seeing the next PlayStation and the next Xbox and possibly other systems as well. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm planning to do with my money, and then I'll look for a response from you guys. Well, I've managed to put aside, or had managed to put aside, about £500 because I thought, well, initially that's what I assumed it would cost for a new system and a couple of games. But as we've all found out recently, that the PlayStation 4 is quite a bit cheaper, so I might not need to spend as much if I choose that system. Now, with the current generation of systems, I've owned all of them, but I never bought any of them on launch. I came to the Wii first because of a friend. I was living in China, in Beijing at the time, and an American friend, he told me that his grandparents had got it, and then they'd enjoyed it so much that his parents had bought one, and then he was interested in getting one. And so I thought, well, I'll give it a look. I mean, there's obviously, at that time back in the UK, there was a lot of excitement surrounding it as well. And so they had imported ones, and I bought one, and I used it a bit at first, played a lot of Wii Sports, had friends around and had lots of competitions using that, but didn't really get that much use out of it. So by the time I came back to the UK, I wanted to get either an Xbox or a PlayStation. I did my research, decided that the Xbox 360 was the machine for me, and was very happy with it for a year or two, until I really got annoyed with the fact that I was paying out for my Xbox Live subscription to pay to play the games online, games that some of them I'd paid full price for. And I thought, considering what you were getting with the PlayStation system, why should I have to pay out for that? One thing led to another, and I decided to shift from mainly using my Xbox to using my PlayStation 3, which I'd bought in the meantime, but really only got it as a Blu-ray player. But as it's turned out, coming to the end of the generation, or the start of the new generation as we are now, the PlayStation 3 has really been my favourite machine from this generation. As much as there are things that I love about the Xbox 360, I enjoy the Kinect. I think that's quite a novel, although somewhat underutilized system. I love the controller for the Xbox 360. As much as I like the one for the PlayStation 3, it's a very good controller, but the Xbox 360 controller is by far my favorite, and I use it all the time with my Mac and PC as well. But it's the crop of the first party games for the PlayStation 3 that's really turned it in my favor. And I think that's led me into what I'm choosing for the next generation, because I'm more interested in what PlayStation has to offer with the fourth generation of their console rather than Xbox. And I must admit, their flip-flopping and changing regarding the DRM issues, this question of it having to be always on, and used game sales, that left a really bad taste in my mouth. And has made me not want to buy the system. Besides there being some things that I like about it, I really like the idea that you can switch between media, between games, movies, internet instantaneously. That's very nice. The fact that it starts up quickly, the controller, again, as much as I really like the look of what Sony have done with the PlayStation 4 controller. I still think I would, well, until I get my hands on both of them, I can't know for sure, but I'm guessing that I would prefer the Xbox One controller, as it seems to be a refined version of the Xbox 360 controller. And if putting the two machines side by side, again, haven't seen them in the flesh, so to speak, but I think I prefer the Xbox One. But I don't know, the PlayStation 4, it is quite similar, isn't it? So, and the hardware is very similar in the two machines. Things seem like the PlayStation 4 may slightly beat out the Xbox One in the sort of graphics stakes, but that's not the most important factor. And one of the things that I really like about the PlayStation 4, and this has actually led me to spend some money recently out of that £500 I'd saved up, I actually spent about 150 of it because I bought myself a PS Vita. I really liked owning the PlayStation Portable. And when I heard that I could play PlayStation 4 games, stream them onto this when I'm connected to my Wi-Fi, I thought that's a pretty cool feature. And you can even do it with some of the PlayStation 3 games, not many of them, but I've tried it with God of War and it works pretty well. There's a lot of good features for that. But there is one thing that I think may eclipse all of those and take what money I've saved up, and that would be Oculus Rift, the VR goggles that are coming out from the company Oculus. Because although I might not be using it if I spend $300 or whatever it is they're proposing the retail price is going to be, if I spend that money on the goggles, then I won't be able to afford a next generation system. But it would definitely give me a next generation experience, being able to go back and play some of my favorite PC games whilst being totally immersed in them. For me, that's more exciting than seeing higher definition versions well, it's not so much higher definition, although the PlayStation 4 and Xbox 360 games will be true full HD. The quality of the imagery is obviously going to be better, the particle effects, the lighting, but all of that aside, I think I would take virtual reality versions of games that I've previously enjoyed over those new experiences. And if I choose to use the PC, and the PlayStation 3, I'll still be able to play the games that I'm most looking forward to, because out of the whole crop of next generation titles that are coming out, Watch Dogs is the thing that I'm most interested in playing, and that's available on quite a few different systems. So if I do opt for the Oculus, I won't be entirely missing out, and then there's plenty of time down the line next year to purchase one of these new systems. But not going to know for sure until I've tested the VR goggles, until I've played the next generation systems. But that's where I stand at the moment in, well, the end of July 2013. But what about you guys? Obviously, this is an open tag question to any of you, and I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I would love to see you. I know I said in my last video that I can't watch any of these response videos, or it'd be difficult for me to watch them because of the slow speed, but I've got a relatively good connection this week here in China, but for the next 2 or 3 weeks I'm going to be in the UK, so internet connection is not going to be a problem. So if you choose to send me a video response, I'll easily be able to watch it. So thank you very much for watching and listening to me waffle for all this time. From my living room to wherever you are, this is Simon signing off. Bye-bye.